please rise in any way you're able.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Let it ring all over the world. 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 Sing a song full of the faith that the path this planet has brought. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Well, now let us march on till victory. Let us march on to victory. Let us march on to victory. Let us march on to victory. Is yes.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Good evening and congratulations, graduates. Equally as exciting, congratulations to the different kinds of families that are here supporting our TC students tonight. I want to recognize that this celebration is just as much yours as it is theirs. At first, Teachers College was not a school I was seriously considering. I have been an aspiring educator since I was in high school, spending years trying to justify to my family that, there's more to life than just nursing. There's more to life than just science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and that it would benefit me ultimately. With that context, you would think that TC would be way higher on my list, but truth be told, I did not see myself as worthy enough of being in the Ivy League. I set my expectations for admission low because I was ready for this dream to be just that. Just 1 year ago, I was seated right over there, feeling an overwhelming sense of pride and joy, and we know how that ended up. I work here at Teachers College now, thankfully. Today, we recognize the scholars in the room who went against the odds to be able to say with pride, I did that. And you did. You did that, and so much more. You studied for countless hours and poured everything you could into your research so you could feel proud of your work, to be recognized by esteemed scholars in your respective fields of education, health, psychology, and graduates, soon to be fellow alumni. Please remember that once all the pomp and circumstance is done, you are joining an elite network of individuals who, all around the world, are working hard to make a meaningful difference through their work and actions. As you transition from a graduate student to an alumnus of Teachers College, lean on this amazing network of alumni as they lean on you to continue succeeding in your chosen professional fields. This event is so special because later in the program, all those in the audience will get to hear the letters that were written to family members spoken out loud, sharing just how meaningful the journey was to get here. My letter was read last year, partly written in the Hiligaynon language that my father from Iloilo City in the Philippines speaks. He is someone who did not expect his life to lead him to where his eldest child would earn a master's degree at a prestigious institution in the United States. And I guarantee you that aspects of all of these letters will move your soul in ways that cannot be put into words like it did move mine. Families, you are here, blood related to your graduates or chosen in their souls as family. We call on you to cheer hard for your graduates today. All those phone calls, FaceTimes, texts, emails, Zoom even, that you received, the holidays and celebrations that had to be missed due to travel restrictions, the endless list of sacrifices that you had to do for each other just to see your graduates succeed. I promise you that today it will have all been worth it. And graduates, I hope to hear you cheer so hard for your families as well, who have stood by you through these amazing educational journeys that you have embarked on and completed. And as I close out this speech, I just want to thank the college for giving me the honor of speaking up here tonight. To be here 1 year later at an event that means so much to me as a person who gets to introduce our next speaker moved me in so many ways. Thank you all for allowing me to have a platform to share my story and celebrate all of yours on this momentous day. And now it is my pleasure to ask you all to join me in welcoming TC's president, Tom Bailey.
All right, well, thank you, Kai. What a wonderful beginning to this ceremony. We're happy to have you working for us and proud of you as an alum. So I've got to say, it's such a pleasure to be at this event. This is actually one of my favorite events, and I know some of you might think, well, he can say that for every event. But I say this one, I'm sincere about this. You can come to other things, and I won't say that. And there are really two reasons. Really, one is you, the graduates. And I know we're here at an event for first generation, for students of color. And we know in this country that you face many barriers to the success, and yet you've overcome them. You know, your ability to achieve this is really testament to your persistence, your reliability, and the skills that you have. So first of all, I'm sure for the first time, for many times, let's give you all a great round of applause. Now, the second reason is really for the parents and loved ones who are here. Now, you'll all, I hope, come to our ceremonies on Wednesday and Thursday. And in that case, you know, it's a big room, and the students are here, and the parents are a long way away. So I like this because we really get to see and experience the parents and the loved ones in a way. So, of course, while you should all be proud of your achievements, you know that much of what you've done really comes from the love, the support of your parents, of your loved ones, and what they have been able to give you, the self-reliance, the confidence to be able to achieve the very ambitious dreams that you have, and now you can say that you've done those. So now we should give another round of applause for those parents and loved ones who are here. Come on. So I've spent my career studying community colleges, and my main goal in that was to try to figure out a way to have community college students be more successful in what they were doing. And of course, community colleges are institutions where there are really overrepresentations of first-generation students, students of color, immigrant students, low-income students. And we know in this society, in our education system, that there are many roadblocks and barriers put up to students who share those characteristics. But none of those roadblocks have really prevented you from achieving what you've done. None of the roadblocks, the systemic failures, have stopped you. You've kept going and you've succeeded, and that makes your achievement that much more meaningful. So now I see a room of people who love you, and I imagine that there are many individuals who have helped you along the way. Along with your family and friends, you have likely found support, mentorship from teachers, ministers, coaches, professors, or other individuals. There have been helpers in your lives who sparked something in you, empowered you to believe in yourself, inspired you to go for more than you previously imagined for yourself. And now, with your degrees in hand, you will play the same role for others. Whether you are heading into a career as an educator, a mental health provider, a public health advocate, or a researcher or policy analyst, you are bringing knowledge and perspectives that have transformational potential. But now it's you that can be the mentor, you can be the coach, you can be the teacher, you can be the professor, so that you can bring the skills that you have to the people in the next generation, who you will be up here looking out at students like yourself in the future. What were once challenges that may have daunted or discouraged you have been transformed through your efforts into knowledge and experiences that empower you to help others. You are uniquely positioned to question the way things are, to offer insights, and to apply and share your experiences. You are uniquely positioned to forge and follow new avenues of inquiry that can unleash opportunities and promote success, access, equity, and inclusion. It's a big responsibility, but you have proven you're up for the challenge. Thank you for all you have brought to the Teachers College community. We are so proud of you and can't wait to see what you accomplish. Now, I'm honored to introduce Associate Professor of Early Childhood Education, the Director of Early Childhood Programs, and the Faculty Co-Director for the Rita Gold Early Childhood Center, Dr. Haney Yoon.
This is also my favorite ceremony, so I feel like if we say it enough times, you'll really believe us. I'm going to start with a letter from the graduates, so you'll be hearing letters from the graduates in conversation with our own, so I'll start with that. For my Lola, Grandma, thank you. Thank you for teaching me about the importance of family, about friends, about community. My journey to grad school really did take a village, and I couldn't have done it without my community. In true Bayanihan spirit, Bayanihan is something you instilled into me without having to explain it. The Filipino spirit of community unity. It's so core to who I am thanks to you, and it's now core to the work I've done as a scholar. You inspired me with stories of building community in the face of oppressive government regimes, and you inspired me to find community on an everyday basis with the people I love and even complete strangers. This is the value that carried me through to this very day here, to celebrate not only 2 hard years at Teachers College, but over 20 hard years in school altogether. And this is no small feat for a child of immigrants, a first-generation student, and someone who's queer. The odds are stacked against people like me, but you helped me find the value in not doing it all alone. I found community in my peers graduating here with me today, and in the faculty and staff who supported us along the way. They've offered me wisdom in ways I found nowhere else. They've offered me compassion in some of the hardest years of my life, and they've helped me see the potential I have to offer these same very lessons about community that you gifted to me. In the face of a world that is increasingly hostile to people like us, I remember these lessons, this gift, and find a spark of hope for our futures. You, like many of our ancestors, have left me with the lessons we need to build a better future, built on love, built on compassion, and built on unity. Bayanihan, The spirit of community lives on in me as I transition out of these final days of my education, and I hope this spirit lives in all those around me here. Maraming salamat po, Lola. Thank you, Lola. Rest easy. So I'm guessing that a lot of us have expressed similar sentiments as we just finished celebrating Mother's Day, honoring the spirit of love and sacrifice and the support of the Lolas in our own life, to celebrate those who mothered us as biological mothers, but also Lolas, aunties, and other mothers, those who brought us up in our community villages, who became and took on the role of mothers, supporting us, offering us wisdom, extending compassion, nurturing our potential. And I'm sure I'm sitting in a room full of mothers and other mothers, or fathers and other fathers. So I'm going to start with a story. A couple of summers ago, I read a book called Crying in H Mart. And it's basically a story of Michelle Zauner and her Korean mother. And it's mostly about grief, food, and immigrant stories, and just letting people go in this life and onto the next. And there's this like small section of the story where she talks about going to Korean school on Saturdays. And I still remember this because I went to Korean school on Saturdays and it was horrible. Like, don't go to school on Saturday is the takeaway of it. And so Zauner writes about how the Korean moms, like after Korean school was over, they would all take turns making lunch. Okay, and so she writes all the Korean moms took the names of their children. So Jian's mom was Jian's amma. Esther's mom was Esther's amma. I never learned any of their real names, she writes. Their identities were absorbed by their children. And I read that, and I started to think how true it is, because I didn't know my best friend's mom's name. I just didn't take the time to find out, right? It was either Jenny's mom or Jean's mom, and that was sufficient. Like, I knew that they had a name, but I didn't actually take the time to know what the name was. And so their names were important, and it meant something. And yet they willingly gave up that name and significance so that many of us can be sitting here today. So my mother let herself be known as Haney's mom. She introduces herself to others as Haney's mom. And I realize that I don't even flinch when I hear it. I often expect it. Like if my mom said, "Hi, my name is Sunok Yoon," I would be like, "Oh my God, what are you saying?" Right? Because I expect her to say she's my mom. And I think what she would expect is for me to be worthy of that name she gave me, worthy of the name she gave up so she can infuse ours together. I like to think that we didn't absorb their names. I hope that our work going forward amplifies and exemplifies it. Rather than absorption, because for me that seems like eating somebody else, what if we think about it as infusion, connection, and a bond, and a spirit that lives on in each of us? So my parents were immigrants, and coming to the States was a difficult journey for them. Ocean Vuong writes in his book On Earth We Are Briefly Gorgeous about a metaphor of a butterfly. And so he talks about how many of our parents, like monarch butterflies, left their homeland without an intention to return. Monarch butterflies lay eggs along the migration route, and the journey takes them thousands of miles away, more than the length of this country. And he writes, the monarchs that fly south will not make it back north. Each departure then is final. Only their children return, and only the future revisits the past. And many of our families did that. Mothers and fathers who moved thousands of miles away to a place they didn't know, to a language they didn't speak, knowing that they will never return to a place that they called home, only to be known as Haney's mom or Haney's dad. So I hope that each of the families here really feel appreciated and honored by today. But finally, I just want to speak to the graduates. I hope you savor this moment as well. I'm sure that you've spent a lot of time thinking about who you owe for this accomplishment. And of course, it does take a village. So many people helped you get where you're at: family, friends, advisors, mentors. I know that many of you shoulder the responsibility and expectations that come with being the first to accomplish anything, and especially something so monumental. But in the midst of doing it for them, I hope you also enjoy it for yourself. You've accomplished no small feat here. You did the thing, and you owe it to yourself to be proud of what you did. Congratulations.
Good evening. I'm Lauren Duncan. I'm the master's graduate speaker tonight. Thank you for having me. Here at Teachers College, I find myself thinking about my classes, my grades, my research. Basically, it's all about me. So, thank you on behalf of the class of 2023 for allowing me to thank the people who brought us to this point, our families. New York has always provided opportunity for so many generations of my family. My grandfather, Poppy Coe, immigrated to New York in the late 1960s. He left behind his 8 children and his wife to come to New York, where he worked as a taxi cab driver for many years, eventually owning his own taxi cab and medallion. He told me he learned to speak English through talking to the riders and through reading the newspaper, which only cost a nickel at the time. It was almost a decade after Poppy Coe left Haiti that my mom came to New York. She and my Uncle George arrived in JFK, sharing one passport with 2 pictures. They grew up in New Jersey. I wrote here, pause for booze. And in many ways, I follow the path that my mom set out for me. She was accepted to Columbia Law School, but instead chose to go to Rutgers. For me, New York has held the opportunity to attend Teachers College, Columbia University. I grew up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, so of course, coming to New York was something I always enjoyed doing. I would come and visit my godfather, Uncle George, and one time in middle school, he brought me to Columbia's campus for the first time. He told me that one day I could attend this university. And at the time, I didn't believe it. I didn't know it was possible. Later in high school, I began taking psychology courses. And I learned about doctors Kenneth and Mamie Clark. They were the 2 researchers who helped end segregation in the United States. They earned their doctorate degrees in psychology here at Teachers College, and it was then that Teachers College became my goal. Fast forward to my senior year of college, and I had applied to schools all over the country, but Teachers College remained at the top of my list. The time came when decisions were being released, and I received an email from Teachers College. Instead of opening it, I took a nap. I was literally tired from the highs and the lows of acceptances and rejections. When I woke up, I was ready to read, "We regret to inform you," but instead I was greeted with confetti and congratulations. At Teachers College, I've done a lot. I've served as president of the Black Student Union. I was on the team to search for a new provost. I conducted research at the Institute for Urban and Minority Education and at Columbia Psychiatry. I've worked in the alumni office, and I'm the diversity officer for Psy-Chi. And I also worked on the committee for last year's First Generation and Diversity Celebration. But now I have the opportunity to do something very important, and probably the most important thing I'll do at TC, and that's to say thank you. Thank you to my mom, my own personal college consultant and application editor, who reminds me that I could not afford her rate if she charged. Thank you to my dad, a high school teacher who always prioritized lifelong education. Thank you to my younger brother, Miles, who shares my passion for psychology, for bridging health disparities, and for arguing. Thank you to my Aunt Rose, whose special engraved pencils with my names on them always made me excited to attend elementary school. Thank you to my Uncle George for bringing me here almost 10 years ago. It's because of all of you that I'm here today. Thank you and good night.
this world of woe. But there's no sickness, toil, and danger in that land from which I go.
I'm going there to see my father. I'm going there, no more to roam. I'm just a going over Jordan. I'm just a going over home.
I know dark clouds are hanging over me. I know my way is dark and steep, but beauteous fields lie right before me, where God's redeemed their vigils keep.
I'm going there.
He's going there
to see my mother.
to see his mother.
She said she'd lead me when I come.
When he
I'm
comes.
just a
He's just a going over Jordan.
I'm just a
He's just a going home.
going home.
Going home. Going home. Going home.
Over home.
Give him another round of applause, Violation. My name is Leslie Williams. I'm a lecturer in the higher and post-secondary program, so I'm here to represent HPSE and the Organization Leadership Department. Woo! So wonderful to see so many of you here today and your families, dressed up in your regalia, dressed up in your finery for the occasion. I'm going to read us a letter from one of you, and then I'll share a few remarks of my own. I would like to dedicate this letter to my grandfather, Bernard Fields Aimé. His mother, Uranie Gabrielle Fields Aimé, was a director of a primary school in Pétionville, Haiti, and was arrested for criticizing the policies of Francois Duvalier. As a result, she and her family left for New York in 1966. I only learned this a few years ago, but my grandfather started at Columbia College in 1973. He became involved in student activism and left Columbia after 2 years to then go to co-found the Haitian Refugee Center in Miami. The timing of my journey is everything to me. I learned about my program maybe 2 weeks before the deadline, and it was the only program I applied to. I know that story myself. The timing was so perfect, I remember walking into church on Easter Sunday in 2019 and receiving the notification that I had an interview. And so I was accepted and moved to New York and had a life-changing experience in exploring my interests with my cohort. I attended a diversity mixer at the beginning of the year and left with lifelong friends. Unfortunately, the pandemic cut things short. With 6 credits left to finish, I stayed in New York that summer after everyone moved away. Unfortunately, my grandfather passed away from COVID-19 that summer. The timing of it all made finishing seem less urgent because he was no longer here to see it. And so here I am now, 3 years later. Thanks to all my friends and family members who held me accountable. I would not be here today without my support system reminding me that I am capable, that I am deserving, and that I have a job to do in this world. I would like to thank my ancestors who paved the way for me to get here, and my grandfather who instilled the value of education, dedication to my community, and the importance of using my voice. Thank you to my friends, peers, and the faculty here that made me feel seen and valued. I'm so grateful that I finished something that my grandfather started. Although I wish he was here to see me cross the stage, I know that he is proud of me. This journey has been a testament that God's timing is the best timing. Well, he is here, maybe not in the flesh, but he is here. My own remarks are that I'd like to share with you is that as an Afro-Caribbean immigrant and first-generation alumnus of Teachers College myself, I'm humbled, honored, privileged, and ecstatic to participate in this Diversity and First Generation celebration for the 2023 Teachers College graduates and their families and loved ones. So congratulations to you all. I think the students that I've had over the last couple of years have probably heard ad nauseum beginning somewhere in about March or April the importance of coming to these kinds of celebrations because they often only happen once. So celebrate, enjoy, savor this milestone. It's a reflection of your personal and professional journey and achievement, as well as that of your families. From my personal and scholarly experiences, I am far too familiar with the potholes many of you have faced along the road to today, including, for many of you now, a once-in-a-century pandemic. However, with the sacrifices and investments of your ancestors, encouragement and support of your family and loved ones, and some key mentors and advocates, you have arrived at this milestone. Your success is also theirs. While we often think of the challenges faced by students from diverse and first-generation backgrounds, I would be amiss to not acknowledge how much you have contributed to the richness of the learning experiences here at Teachers College. In classrooms, you have offered perspectives that have helped us understand issues in new ways, bringing fresh insights to our quest to improve education, health, and psychological well-being. Outside of the classrooms, you have exposed us to your cultures and traditions and histories and have enriched our lives. This celebration is one part of several days of commencement festivities, marking a new beginning. I know that you will take the lessons learned from your journey to and through Teachers College to uplift your families and communities and to work to make the world a better place. This work is never ending, so take the time to celebrate, then roll up your sleeves again and get back to the struggle, because the forces that seek to limit opportunities for communities like ours never go away. I look forward to continuing the celebration with you over the next few days and remaining connected in the ensuing years by our shared experiences at Teachers College and our quest for a more equitable and just nation and world. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Maria Hartman from the Deaf and Hard of Hearing program, and I welcome you all to the first generation graduation. My letter is from Amanda to her mommy and poppy. Dear Mommy and Poppy, Thank you always for encouraging me to work hard and to follow my dreams. Thank you for your continuous support and providing me with the beautiful life that has allowed me to get to this point today. Coming from the Dominican Republic at a young age, you have both worked hard to create a life for yourselves in America, and I hope that this accomplishment shows the fruits of your labor. You have provided me with a better life, and for my 3 brothers, and for that I will always be grateful. You have taught us always to be humble, always to be grateful, and always to give back. As I embark on my professional career, I will always hold these virtues deep in my heart. I could not have done this without your support and your encouragement. This accomplishment is not only for me, but for you too. Te amo siempre. Had to do that in Spanish and English and sign. Love, Amanda. And brief remarks. In her letter to her parents, Amanda names 3 virtues that her family taught her. First is be humble. Second is be grateful. And third is always give back. Amanda, your parents are wise people. Being humble means that you can put someone else before yourself. Being humble means you can accept disappointment, which life will always occur. Being humble allows us to be free from the need to always be perfect, free to listen to others and put them first, free to ask for help when you need it, and free to accept that help in order to restore yourselves. Being grateful is one of the hardest things in our society. Amanda's parents remind us to stop and focus on what's good in the world, to pause and to notice and appreciate the things that we often take for granted. Things like having a place to come home to at night, having food, having clean water, friends and family, the important stuff. And giving back, we show that we appreciate our own good fortune. And in giving to others, we create more good in the world. And now I'd like to teach you a sign. Will you sign with me? Wonderful. Okay, take your fists, thumbs in, and turn them toward yourself. Take one fist and give the other one a little pump. And this is the sign for helping lift someone up, for helping support someone. Your families have lifted you up by helping you arrive here at Teachers College today. Thank you, families. Your faculty have lifted you up by helping you acquire the skills and knowledge you will need to go out and serve your communities. Thank you, faculty. You have all lifted each other up by caring for each other and supporting each other through the challenges of graduate school. Now it is time for you to go out and lift up others. Congratulations, graduates.
Whatever the past has handed to us, it is up to each one of us to chisel our present out of the shapeless block of the future. A quote that stuck with me by Hernan Diaz in his recent Pulitzer Prize-winning book, Trust. Hi everyone, I am Apeksha, your doctoral graduate speaker for tonight. Welcome. Growing, thank you, thank you. Growing up, I used to sleep in my grandmother's room, and in my formative years, she woke me up at 5 a.m. to study before school hours. And her mantra to me before my study sessions was, "You can achieve anything you set your mind to." During my youth, I never thought I would have any involvement in the realm of health and education. I always told my parents I wanted to be a lot of things: a businesswoman, a pilot, a jewelry designer. But all of that changed when I found myself planning and participating in an after school health education program in a small town in the west of India. Seeing the young children in my community learn about nutrition and sanitation sparked a fire inside me and propelled me into pursuing formal training in public health and education. My parents supported me in this endeavor from the very beginning and enabled me to move to this absolutely magnificent city all by myself to receive instruction at this world-class school, Teachers College. In ordinary life, we hardly realize that we receive a great deal more than we give, and that it is only with gratitude that life becomes rich. So sincere gratitude to mom, dad, husband, best friend, my professors, my mentors. My time at this school has helped me realize my true passion, supporting the lives of underserved populations through scholarship and community engagement. It has helped me understand the value of this education in promoting social mobility, social justice, and equity. It has helped me understand the true meanings of compassion and empathy from my professors, friends, colleagues, and peers. I'm grateful to each and every one of the Columbia University members I have crossed paths with in steering me to this milestone. Now, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge everyone who has played a role in getting us graduates to this very momentous point. So let's hear resounding applause for parents, siblings, spouses, family members, aunts, uncles, mentors. Thank you for your support in this journey that has given us graduates the ability to make a lasting impact for future generations. I believe that when quality education is provided to us, we are then going to be able to provide it to another group of diverse individuals who will then support another group of diverse individuals, and that is social mobility in its truest sense. Opening doors and creating opportunities for others like us by making inclusive environments, by advocating for diversity policies, by providing skill building opportunities, and by fostering a welcoming mindset. This is the power vested in us to support underrepresented communities to climb the socioeconomic ladder. And like Dr. Hartman just said, support everyone to bring them up this ladder. So being a woman, an immigrant, a first generation in this country, getting this doctorate reminds me that one shouldn't underestimate themselves and that anything is possible if you surround yourself with great mentors, intellectually curious people, supportive friends and family, and put in the work. We can and will continue to make a meaningful impact. Graduates, let's be grateful to all the people that make us happy. They are the charming gardeners who make our souls blossom. So shukran, salamat, asante, gracias, shishi, and thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Limaris Caraballo. I'm an associate professor of English education and also of curriculum and teaching. And today I'm representing the Department of Arts and Humanities. And I'm also a graduate. That's just to accentuate what I'm saying. Just to make sure everyone's paying attention. I'm also a graduate from the doctoral program in curriculum and teaching from 2012, in which in this year there was still no ceremony like this one. So like many, this is one of my absolute favorite things at TC. And I thank you to the organizers for this opportunity to share in the hope and joy of this commencement event, celebrating with all of you the struggles and the joy that comes from realizing that these achievements are very much a signal of all that there is to come. Like many of the letter writers, I am reading the letter of someone who has much gratitude for her family. It is my distinct honor to read this letter in Spanish. This letter from Marilu, a student whose trajectory resonated with me so greatly as a first-generation student of color in the Ivy League. I will also start with Marilu's letter and then close with just a few words to contextualize in terms of how it relates to my own story. Marilu dedicates this letter to her family, thanking them for all of the beautiful, understated, and enduring ways in which they showed her by example how to strive to achieve her goals without forgetting or apologizing for who she is and where she comes from. Si bien es cierto que como estudiante de primera generación de bajos ingresos, mi familia no pudo brindarme el capital financiero o social que se valora en este sistema educativo. Sin embargo, me han proporcionado una abundancia de nuestro propio capital cultural, que incluye apoyo incondicional, por lo cual logré estar aquí. Estoy aquí hoy gracias al apoyo de mi familia. A mi hermana mayor, Bere, mi segunda mamá. Gracias por ser la intermediaria cultural de nuestra familia y por ayudarme a desenvolverme en este sistema educativo, aunque también era ajeno a ti. A mis papás, no existen palabras en inglés o en español que puedan describir lo agradecida que estoy por todo su apoyo. Me han enseñado a ser fuerte y resiliente. Mamá, tú me has enseñado a mantener siempre mi cabeza en alto, nunca bajar la mirada y a sentirme orgullosa de mis raíces donde quiera que vaya. Lamento que me haya tomado algunos años aprender estas lecciones y lo siento. Lo siento por las veces que me avergoncé de donde vengo, pero hoy comprendo la belleza de nuestra lucha, cultura y familia. Hoy en día no podría estar más orgullosa de mis raíces. Me enorgullece decir que mis papás son de México, Michoacán, la ex hacienda de Dolores, un pueblo pequeño y humilde que se dedica a la agricultura y cría a las personas más valientes y trabajadoras que he conocido. Estoy muy orgullosa de la riqueza de conocimiento y sabiduría que tienen mis papás, por ser de donde son. La admiración con que me miran es la misma admiración que tengo yo por ellos. Cuando comienzo a sentir el síndrome de impostor, lo cual sucede a menudo, pienso en los sacrificios que mis papás hicieron para que yo pueda estar sentada en espacios que históricamente no estaban destinados para mí. Pienso en el hecho de que, de alguna manera, mis papás tuvieron que cortarse las alas para prestármelas, y por eso estoy eternamente agradecida, aunque a veces me siento culpable por su sacrificio. Hoy espero devolverles esas alas en forma de este diploma, que no es solo mío, sino también de ellos. Aunque este título no se compara con sus sacrificios, es mi intento de hacerles saber que valió la pena todo su esfuerzo. Con cariño, Marilu. Marilu's letter encapsulates in such beautiful ways, so many of these metaphors that resonated with me as I also struggled with imposter syndrome in the Ivy League, as I also wondered what my place was, how my culture came to fit in the work that I hope to do and among my peers. It was in leaving my own community as a first-generation student and leaving my insular immigrant community where everyone basically could sort of finish each other's sentences. And for the first time in higher education, feeling like I had to learn who I was all over again. And in that struggle, there's a lot of tension. There are moments of pride, and then there are moments of shame, and there are moments of doubt, and there are moments of strength. And Marilu's metaphor of the wings that her family gave to her, and how in some ways it felt like they had to cut off their wings in order to give them to her so that she could fly. Is such a powerful metaphor and so poignant for those of us who have struggled to realize sort of what our place is in relation to our families and to our communities, especially when there are conflicts or tensions between what we have grown to know amongst our families and the values and demands of the academy or of the profession that we are following or leading to. So in all of this, her closing metaphor is returning the wings in the form of this diploma. It is not just mine, it is also theirs, she says. Even though this diploma is not comparable to their sacrifices, it is her intent to make them know that it was all worthwhile through her efforts. So Marilu closes with this important and hopeful promise to give back to her family and community the wings lent to her that helped her to soar amidst adversity. Like Marilu, I'll also close with a message forward in Maya Angelou's words from her famous Still I Rise. Just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tides, just like hopes springing high, still I rise. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Davinia Gregory, and I represent the Department of Arts and Humanities. And I am here to do something very special. We've now come to the most beautiful part of this program, the family roll call. I'll read out the name of each graduate here this evening, and when I call your name, please rise. And if you have family here tonight, they should also stand with you, just as they've done every day leading to today. If there is a graduate who does not have guests with them this evening, I hope that your classmates will be your family tonight and stand with you. So expect extra loud clapping for people who don't have their families with them here tonight. And I'll say this. As a first-generation graduate of a university in the UK, and somebody whose parents came as immigrants, I'm used to having my name mispronounced on a regular basis. And I've taken note of all the pronunciations that you've given to the departments, and I've tried my best to learn the correct pronunciations. So please, but I should say, please forgive me if I make a misstep and I mispronounce your name. Know that the pronunciation has been attempted to be learned with love, and I mean all the best for you. So, first we have Jean Yi Tan. Jean Yi Tan, hello. Next, we have Rashad Moore. Where's Janice Marshall? Diana Garcia. Daniel Clark. Maria Huertas. Amanda Tuller. Nicole Neski. Carlos Osuna Jr. Samit Khan. Vishanya Nambia. Nico Crawford. Tingyan Yu. Randy Elfrida Scott McLaughlin II. Oshi Xavier. Aaron Miles. Dwayne Dice. Belen Berrios Droget. Lauren Duncan. Our speaker. Thank you. Michaela Foreman. Nigel Brown. Yes, family. Aghar Haney. Hey. Sonia West. Yasmin Butte. Amelia Jones. Woo! Yes, family. Rocco Serravo. Akio Goya. Dulce Rivero Osorio. Novia Hoki Anditya. Azreen Hassan. Maria Sultana. Amy Hawley Alvarez. Samara Vega. Sheldon Sucre. Jonah Avdiu. Manisa Apeli. Apeksha Mewani. Our speaker, Mariana Rodriguez. Isabella Manoharlal. Amanda Maria Theodore. Leanne Aira Villanueva. Bonelin de Santos. Oli Ayeni Desi. Desi? Jieping Li. Carol Castaneda. Rothana Graves McQueen. Angie Gonzalez. Woo! Yes, family. Mia Kirk. Aurelie Garcia Tallo. Alejandra Figueroa. Daisy Ruiz. Miguel Losa. Hannah Vanya. Pretty Jane. Brianna Neal. Serena Alavi. Marilu Bautista. Sade Samal Singh. Samuel Singh. Shraddha Gadi. Renee Foster. Susanna Lee. Briley Guerrero. Weng Yushi. From my own program, Bianca Horn. Keller Marlene Moffat. Ella Sharif. Emma Lupoli. Jacqueline Hawkins. Hugo Bautista Lopez. Yes! Charlotte Coella. Kirsten Barrientos. And Cheyenne Madrid. Wendy Chen. Woo. Tomas Briseño. Jennifer Torres. Go family. Amanda Espinal. Yes. Crystal Joy España. Arub Khan. Gianna Garcia. Chappelle Laborde. Monica Murillo Parma. Timmy Onafawokan. Marian Patricia Bea Francisco. Bobby Cassiano. Shavian Shi. Andrea Chen. Chaz Higginbotham. Yi Huang. Iman Niazi. Shamika Williams. Yami Cow. Yi Liu Zhao. Samaya Fatima. And Fatima Rizwan. Laurette Espinoza. And last but by no means least, Nadia Syed. Thank you, everyone, for keeping up the energy and clapping for everybody and their families. So important. That concludes the family roll call. Would everybody please rise and stand together as one family tonight? Let's give everyone a round of applause. The graduates. Well done, graduates. Be proud of yourself. Now, please sit down, everybody. Okay. As we close our ceremony, know that you will always be part of the TC family. We root for each other, we support each other, and we learn from each other. In good times and in bad, the family you have created here will continue to be an enduring legacy of your time at Teachers College. Thank you all for being part of this special ceremony. Please keep your seats as graduates exit the auditorium. Graduates, I invite you to exit. Well done.